Hello everybody, hope you're having a great day. Have you ever wondered if you could make biscuits on top of the stove in a skillet? Well, you can. That's how I made these. They're really easy to make, and I want to show you the simple method that I use to make biscuits on the stove top so you can do it too. Now of course you're going to need a skillet. This is an 8-inch non-stick skillet with a lid, and this one has a see-through lid which makes it a little easier. So if you have a see-through lid, it really helps. I have a 1/3 cup measuring cup, and I'm using self-rising flour. I need to get some more, and I'm going to use 2 of these cups. So 2/3 cup of self-rising flour. You can use regular all-purpose flour, but you would need to add about 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And I'm going to put out some wax paper to help make cleanup easier. So let me get this paper laid down. I think you're going to like these biscuits, and they really are easy to make on the stove top. Easier than maybe you think they are. So to the flour, we're going to grate in some butter. Now this is right out of the refrigerator, so it's nice and cold, and you want it cold. And that's about a tablespoon of butter. And then get something to stir it with, and you want to try and coat those pieces and separate those pieces in the flour. Just gently stir it up like this. Simple, huh? I hope things are going well in your world, and I do appreciate you watching my videos. And now let me get a biscuit cutter out. This set comes with 4 different sizes. I'm going to use the 2.5-inch cutter. Of course, you could use any size that you like. So let me get that out and put that to the side. And now we need to get some milk, and I'm going to just use that same 1/3 cup measuring cup that I used for the flour, and in goes the milk. Now this is going to make a pretty sticky dough, so you might use a little less than 1/3 cup. But anyway, then we want to stir it together, just very gently bringing it together, allowing that milk time to get absorbed by the flour. And so you really want to take your time here. You don't have to stir it vigorously. In fact, that's not a good thing. You want to be as gentle as you can when you're making biscuits. And I have several biscuit videos up, and you can look and see how to make 16 to 1. I have a video that shows how to make 16, a video that shows how to make 10, a video that shows how to make 4, and this is a biscuit for 2 video. Now that dough is pretty sticky, and so I'm going to put some flour there on the board and then turn out that dough, and you can see how sticky it is. And the rule of thumb is you want the biscuit dough to be as sticky as possible while you can still work it, and so just barely sticking to your fingers. And I'm going to take advantage of that paper and let it help me coat this dough with the flour so I can begin to work it. Now, I don't use a rolling pin, so I just press it out and gently begin to press it, and then you want to fold it. Do you see that fold? And it's in that flour, and you only need enough flour to make it workable. And so if you used a little less milk to begin with, you wouldn't need nearly as much flour, and maybe not even any at all, depending on how well that balances that ratio of flour to milk. But the key here is to keep folding it and gently pressing it, just like that. And you pat it and press it out and fold it, and you go back and forth very, very gently. And this helps create a beautifully light and fluffy biscuits. You'll see. Simple, huh? I mean, anyone can do this. And so you fold it a few times. Can you see the folds in there? Now let me get the flour and kind of move it to one side. You don't want too much flour. You still want this moist, and like I said, practically sticking to the paper. That's all the flour you want to use, is just to keep it from sticking. And so you can see I'm even putting more folds in. See that? All right, now it's time to cut a biscuit out right in the center. Let me pull that up and notice how it's almost sticking. You see, can you tell? I don't know if you can tell, but that's the first biscuit, and we'll put that in the pan. The skillet is cold. I haven't turned the heat on yet. Want just enough flour to, again, to keep it from sticking to the paper, and bring that dough together and fold it, and then we'll cut out the next one. Simple, huh? It's really easy. You just take your time, and they turn out like this. You can see the layers that are created by folding, and you just repeat that process again for the third biscuit. And there we have 3 2.5-inch biscuits in the skillet, and then there's a little left over. Let's go ahead and cook it as well. This irregular piece, it's okay. It'll be just as delicious. It'll just be smaller. So I kind of shape it into a small biscuit shape, and we'll put that right in the middle, about like that. And now we want to put the lid on this skillet, and for the first time we're turning on some heat, and you want to put the heat on medium low until you notice it's starting to get warm. You see that's still cool, and the skillet is starting to warm up, and you'll notice a little steam, and you'll see maybe a little bubbling, and once that happens you want to turn your heat down to low. But now that heat is inside your skillet, and you put it on low, and you just let that cook for a while, for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And while that's cooking, I'm going to mix together some honey butter to eat on these biscuits. For that I'm going to use, a tablespoon of room temperature butter, and then about that much honey, and you just kind of put those together. If you've never made any of this, I want to encourage you to give it a try. That's if you like the taste of honey. Now these biscuits are great if you want to use sausage gravy. Oh, it would be wonderful. Or jelly, or anything you like on a biscuit. So we'll give this a quick stir, and I can see that the biscuits are starting to rise up. Can you tell? You can see them kind of sizzling there. Very good. Let's take the top off and give them a look. Got this little curved spatula that helps. This nonstick pan is really nonstick. I didn't have anything in the pan, and we'll flip these over. You see how that's starting to turn a nice golden brown? We'll give these a flip. Wonderful. You kind of cook these in 2 sections. You cook the first side up, and then you flip them over like pancakes, and then you let the second side cook. And you want, again, to use it on low heat. We'll let that go. Now let's take a look at that second side. Oh yes, nice and golden. It looks good. That's been cooking for, again, about 3 or 4 minutes. Let's flip these over to the first side, just like that, and let them continue to bake and cook in this pan. I let the heat out when I opened it, and so we want to close the lid and let the heat build back up inside, because we're trying to bake in a skillet. And so you give it just a minute, and then you can turn the fire off, the heat off, and let them cook or bake without the fire. And that's still very hot, and they're baking away. Let that go for about 3 minutes, and now let's give them a check and see if they're done. Look inside, and if they're not, you just put that back in and give them more time. Oh, that's just right. Perfectly done. Beautiful biscuits made in a skillet on the stove top. Take a look at that. And we'll keep these warm. Let's take another look at this one. Oh, that's beautiful. And it's so moist and tender. Beautiful biscuit. Beautiful. Well, let's put some of that honey butter on these biscuits so I can enjoy them. Once again, I do appreciate you watching my videos, and if you don't mind, please like the video and share the video. I really appreciate you sharing it. Hey, do you like honey butter? It's really delicious. But then I love the taste of honey, so you may not, but I really do. Let's put these together, and then it's time for a taste. All right, here we go. That is absolutely delicious and so easy to make. Once again, I want to encourage you to give it a try. You can make these on the stove top. What about that little one? Let's take a look at it. There it is. It turned out great. It's just smaller, but it's just as nice and delicious as the larger ones. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye now.